Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US indices for Monday 17th of January. Just before we start, I just want to talk about that little survey that we sent out to folks, and thanks for your feedback. And this is basically what it looks like here. So we need to, do what's on trend. So over the year, we'll we'll adjust and improve things. So I want to add a bit more to the crypto space as well. I'm not quite sure how we'll do that. Obviously, weekend updates and perhaps some intraday updates as well. I'm not quite sure how we'll go about doing that. The indices are okay with the video. I mean, it's the US and Europe is very popular. Being in Australia here, when the US market's open, it's midnight, so that's a little bit difficult. And unless I can find a good analyst in the US to help out with that, the forex is not very popular. So out of the forex, though, really it's the euro US dollar, and being in Australia here, we got a nice handful of Australian members. So I'm going to put the as you may know already, the Australian forex, the AUD. I'll put that into the Australian video, and I'll put the euro US dollar into the European indices video as well, and I'll probably add some notes, or the bond market, or the Bund as they call it there, for that as well, and just try to sort of build a bit more of a complete economic sort of overview of Europe and Australia as well. But Australia is really a commodities country, and we're just one big mining town. So obviously there's a bit more to it than that. Don't take offence, but the commodities are very popular, as you can see. So I have started to put a bit more effort into that over the beginning of this year. So I'll continue to do that, and also with the stocks as well. Alessio's agreed to put out some stock trades for the stocks that he's covering, and the stocks that he's covering, by the way, are really, they're all innovative, disruptive stocks from Cathie Wood's ETFs. Most of you would know about Cathie Wood and her ETFs and so on. And the thing that using her stock list is quite a good idea, really, because she's, we don't have a lot of money here to do a lot of research and all the rest of it, but Cathie's team has really done all the research and, handpicked and plucked the best stocks in whatever sector that is. It could be AI, robotics, nanotechnology, bio, all of those. So that's a really good, solid sort of watch list. It's a very volatile market. It's new, it's a bit like Bitcoin. It's got wild swings in it. But I think it's the one that's really going to have the growth, out of, many of those situations. So, and then I just cover, main. So if Alessio puts those stock trades out, and we'll have a look at, what he's doing and see if we can help in any way and whatnot, and get those stock trades, on some winning numbers. And I'll just continue with my stock video that I put out, and I think it's important for me to put out that stock video on the top tech stocks, because they really govern the indices as well, and it really gives me a good insight of what the indices should be doing. It's been sort of very helpful in that regard. We'll probably upgrade our own website or build another one, because finding the stocks, for instance, is very difficult as such, so we need to get some better sort of infrastructure for that as well. So I'll be researching that and so on. So anyway, look, thank you very much, and your efforts will be rewarded. I forgot to say as well that the Forex charts won't be there at the end of the month, so I'm going to move those, because it's a lot of cost and energy to do that, and if nobody's really, I mean, no disrespect, but very few people are watching that. So, and I think I can cover that by putting Forex, doing a better job with the Forex, because the charts aren't that good to trade off. You need a bit more detail, and the videos can help with that a bit better, I think. Yeah. Alrighty, I'll just leave that at that. I'll just need to explain that in each video today, just to get that done. Not everybody watches all the videos, I've got to put in each video. Okay, the Russell. So we're still on track here. We're looking for this ABC correction to come down, and from wave B to wave C here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1. So we've completed wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're going down for 3, 4 and 5. So between 2 and 3 here, we've already got wave 1 that's come down, and we're going back for wave 2 now, and then there'll be 3, 4, 5, and that will be this third wave here, so to speak. So let's go in and have a look at that. I mean, could this be wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C? Yeah, possibly. So we don't really want that top being taken out. If that top gets taken out, well, then this would be invalidated. We'll go to the tick chart just to drill into this little area through here for that. So that's 100 ticks. It's a big leap there as such, but it's just the quickest way I can get through to things. So we've got wave B at the top there, and just cleaning up these. I can't have too many objects on the chart, and bit of homework, tidy things up a bit. Probably I don't really need this here. I don't really even need that. I mean, being on the tick chart, I can just stay on the trend that I'm on. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you know, down here for this, and then it was nice to see the low get taken out here, because it just helps confirm that that this 5 waves here is delivering over this side, and we've got a very clear A, B and C wave here in this case. So that's all good. 5 waves down here, and then we're looking for it to move back to the box, and once it's done that, it'll be in its later stages here, so there'll just be the third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave to finish off here, and then we'll move down for this third wave here, hopefully. Like I said, if this top is taken out, then this is the 50-60%. If it finds support on this level here, then we've got something else in play here. But on the Nasdaq and the S&P and here, we've got a reasonable 5 wave structure coming down through here, which we'll spend a little bit more time with that on the Nasdaq, or more so the S&P really, but let's bring up the Nasdaq and look at this quickly. So we've got the same thing happening as well, an ABC correction. I may need to put this, I've got intermediate wave 3 here, I might need to put that a degree smaller, but that doesn't matter at this particular point in time. We've got the A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we should be pulling back to this wave 4 here roughly. So wave 1 was quite long here, and we've looked at the point, and we'll look at it again today, if we're having wave 4 here. I don't think it's the case, but it looks right to do that too, in terms of an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. It's all kind of contained and got the right proportions. When we bring this down here, it's really wave C's relationship to wave A really goes out the window there a bit, but it's kind of what we're looking for on stock. So so we'll look at a couple of things on the S&P, looking at this a little bit differently. But as far as this goes, we're looking for a rally, and then we're looking for 3 waves to move down, with wave 4 and then wave 5. So we've already got wave 1, 2, and we're looking for 3, 4 and 5. We need to finish this rally for wave 2 off, and we can have a look at the bullish count. But we'll look at this move here on the tick chart. But we had been looking at other moves like this move here. So wave 3 here with an A and a B and a C. It's got nice proportions and it all fits, and it's all nice and tidy, and the stochastics are coming in just here, giving us a little bit of a lift off the low here. So we'll see how this travels to the upside here. But, these things can just go up a bit further and also move back down. But, if they're really sitting below the line, it's sort of, screaming at you that you need to be a little bit mindful of things. So, yeah, I mean, can this turn into anything else? Possibly. Thinking of a triangle on the S&P, we can have a bit of a look at that as well. But yeah, no, I think that you could squeeze 5 waves out of this. You could do that with a long wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for that. But it still leaves a pretty clear 5-wave structure down here as well. So we know that that's around the 50-60% retracement level there. Let's just take this particular pattern a step further, and this is it here. So yeah, so I don't need that there. So yeah, it's possible. So we'll just see how it goes first. It will need to breach this sorry, just get these buttons working. Monday morning's a thing. So we'd need to be above this 50-60% here to start with. So we could say, if the 15,800 became the support, then we'd have a bit of an issue at that point. Then it would be, you could probably, if you've got a classic trading levels pattern on 15.8, then this is not sitting on 15.8. This is the halfway mark between this medium level and this medium level here. So, but yeah, look, if we got up here somewhere, well, then we would look at that. We would look at this pattern. I don't think there's nothing. The only thing wrong with this is that it's not really in line with some of the stocks that I'm looking at, like Alphabet and Microsoft, and unless I've got them totally wrong, yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this. We don't want to put our heads in the sand, and don't want to let our ego sort of latch onto a pattern and then find yourself in the put, because all we're looking for is trade setups, really. That's all we're looking at. But I want to go to the tick chart now, just to have a look at the pattern that I've been tracking as my sort of primary pattern. I might just bring in a little bit more here. So yeah, wave 1 down here, and we're looking for wave 2. We've got quite a reasonable, nice ABC pattern here. As I mentioned, you can look at this. See, the Russell doesn't have 5 waves up. With the Russell, it's very clear that it's 3 waves up. But you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, and ABC for 2 for expanded flat, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I'm not ruling it out. I'm not sticking my head in the sand. I understand that. And I did get the turn a bit wrong on the S&P, because I looked at this as down for wave 1 here, and then I was looking at this as wave 2 here and expecting it to come down, and then I saw this moving up here and I thought, oh no, here we go, we're going higher. But even if that was going higher and I made a mistake here, then the thing to do here is that if this was going to move up here, we would have the arrival, the reaction, have the first high above the level, then an ABC pattern, probably exaggerating the size of it, and then up at that point. So you'd still need that to go long on over there. It's hindsight, but it's good to there's lessons in everything if you can kind of sink them in. Sometimes you need an emotional event to make the memory stick, But otherwise, look, wave 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2. Now, this is quite complicated, because normally you get wave 4 being complicated and wave 2 being simple. But if wave 2 is complex, then wave 4 is going to be simple. It's just a guideline of alternation. But yeah, we don't often see it, but there it is. And yeah, and then down for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third and fourth and fifth. So it does present, it's difficult to put this down as an A wave and a B wave here because I don't get 5 waves in the C wave here. I get this extra wave here. So that's why it doesn't fit unless you start sort of, giving it some WXYs and so on and squeezing it and squashing it in. You've got to be careful how you use the X wave, I think. It's a bit like a joker in the pack sometimes. So yeah, that all fits quite nicely. So down for 1 here and then the A wave here, that's pretty clear, and the B wave here. And I need to point out the B wave here, just so you know, on the S&P dropped lower than this here. But it's still the same thing. And then here we've got, I could just copy these for the time being. I'll just use these. We've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here because we're from B to C, we're looking for 5 waves. So we're looking for, there will be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So the third wave's going to be up here somewhere, and then there's going to be the fourth wave, and then there's going to be the fifth wave. So there's going to be a bit of momentum left over from Friday, and let's just see if that fades, So we're up here in minor subgroup 2 here for this, so 65, 72 and 80. So just see if it's, if you get the turn at that point, and you can look to short at that point. So how to short? Let's just say for a moment that the market goes up here for wave 3, doesn't find support on 65, so that's 15,650. Okay, that number struggles there, gets kicked back here, and then makes a move up here and gets up here, but then hasn't really retested anything at this stage, or not much. And then what happens is that you see it come down and it starts to retest that 650 number. Then it's at that point when you see that it's the first low below the level, and then the retest, and then if it clicks down below that, then you know that it's rejected it at that point. So a trade here, and then another short trade under here as well. When you get down to here, it's going to get bouncy. Anyway, that's how I approach it, but just sharing. But yeah, everyone does their own thing. So let's have a look at the S&P. So with the S&P here, we've got wave 3 over here, and then the A wave and the B wave and the C wave here. Now it probably won't come this low down here because because it's taken out the top here, it should take out the low of wave A. So this might all get sort of shortened up here. Look, I could be wrong, but let's just consider a few things here for a moment. So it could end up being not way down here. I mean, this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, but this market is strong because it took out the top here, and so that's the sort of personality of it. So it might be just something like this, This is what we need to be a little bit careful of. I'll just keep a gap between these two, so we know. So it might all sort of squash up into here before heading off. I mean, this this is where this number here, the 5,000, 5 being the second strongest number, this is where the market's going to, and it's just being restrained here, within minor group 2 here. So, once again, we could put wave 4 up here in this case as well, because we've got the A wave here, and A, B, and C wave for the B wave, and here, so it could be a running flat at this point. And like the Nasdaq, is it possible to count 5 waves up into this point here? I mean, if that was the case, there's also a bit of a triangle pattern working here as well. I'm still, my primary count is still to bring it down. I just, looking at some stocks, I just don't know how far, I don't think it's going to come as deep as I expected it to. That's all. I think it's going to be all scrunched up in some particular way. So, but anyway, we'll just keep playing it out. And let's just go to the 4-hour chart, just shooting the breeze a bit. So this is our pattern so far. So A wave over here with an ABC here for the B wave. A nice 5 waves down here for wave 1. We're looking for wave 2 to go back up. So if I was looking for 5 waves up here, it's doable. We can go 1 and 2 here, and then 3 in here, and 4 here, and 5 here to get your 5 waves. But now it's kind of thrown that in the bin a little bit, because the Russell took the low out here. So that's one signal, isn't it? I mean, it's not everything. But also, too, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, which we'll look at in a little bit more detail. So that 5 waves up here, if it was there, it's sort of diminished a little bit. We could look at all of this slightly differently as well. And I don't think it hurts to take a look at, a few ideas. We could end up with a much more complicated situation of a triangle here. So the A wave here, an A, B, C here for the B wave, an A wave here, then an A wave here, an A, B and C wave for the B wave here, down for the C of C, and then the D and the E. I don't think it's the case, because this move down here is in 5 waves. But if it takes the top out there, it's something that we will need to consider. That's all. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's the case, but anyway, we just got to kind of put it on the table, and then we can chuck it in the bin if we don't need it. Okay, so going back to our primary count with wave B up here, we've counted down for wave 1 here, and then we looked at the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. I know that, as I mentioned, you can squash 5 waves into here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I don't see anything wrong with that, really, because this is the long length here, then it sort of slightly shortens here, then it really shortens here. So it's diminishing into that point, and that's sort of okay. We're in terms of the trading levels, we're in minor group 2 here. So this is important, because when we go to the tick chart, you will see that we're also working, this is minor group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80. But when we go into the tick chart, we'll be working with 1 degree smaller sub-levels, subgroup 2 in here. Okay, so but I'll point that out to you. But as you can see, we've got a nice clear 5 wave structure down here. So that means that I'm thinking we've got the A wave here, the B wave here, that just took out the low here, didn't do it on the NASDAQ. So we're just looking for 5 waves up here, and then we're looking for the move down again for wave 3. That's what I'm thinking. So you can use this, this is a nice number to use to go to short here, by the way. Obviously, we'll be looking for better positions, but still finding this here as the retested resistance, this number, because then you know what it's doing at that point. See, it's basically moving down through here, and it's coming back up and retesting supply. So is it going to stay in this group here? Because that's really what it's all about. Because if it stays in this minor group 2, well, then it's going to be eyeing off this. It's going to be eyeing off this 5,000 up here, which I need to put in while I'm here. And this is a bit of a psychological finishing line here for all of this. I'll need these in due course. Yeah, I think this is minor wave 3. Intermediate wave 3 up there, but that's another story for another day. But staying on track here. So let's go to the tick chart now and just check on this and look at our mistakes as well. Well, my mistakes. I don't want to share them around. They're sacred. Okay, so just for reference point, we've got our wave B up here. We've got our 5 waves down for wave 1. We've been working this up here is the A, the B, and the C wave up here, and don't need that and that. Yes, my mistake was that, as I mentioned before, I had wave 2 sitting over here, and the damn thing just doubled in size. I wasn't expecting that, you know. It's not the norm for it to do that. And when this started to push up here, I thought, oh, I've got it wrong, and it's bullish at that point. But obviously, it was just a larger correction. So. We talked about being short and all the rest of it and stuff, and long and stuff, but the short trade was under the 4700 here, and you may have taken that, you may not have, and you know, I wasn't able to do the video on the Friday. Yeah, I had 2 Pfizer shots, not a problem. Then I had the Moderna shot, and it was a bit of like it was like I was just knocked out, like from a king hit. That sort of when your legs go wobbly and you start seeing stars and that sort of stuff. It was a little bit like that. So anyway, I need this little dude over here now. So we need to look at this. So look, this is pretty clear here. We've got wave 1 here and 2 here. Then we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the way down here for 5 for the 3rd wave, and then the 4th wave, and then the 5th wave. So based on that, and then the good news here is that this move here is in 3 waves, and it's taken the low out here. So that really confirms this as a wave B rather than a wave 2. You know what I mean? Like wave 1 here and ABC for 2. So it really, this 5 waves helps us confirm that we'll be going down over here, and then this just taking this low out here helps us with this also being corrective rather than wave 1 and 2 here. So in that being the case, then we'll just be looking from wave B here to wave C into the box here, or to the 4700. Well, 5 waves up here, so I can see this is wave 1 and 2 here. Maybe I wasn't a little sure about that little dude here, and that's wave B right on that low there, because we got this 1, 2, 3 to here, an A and a B and a C here for the 4 and down for the 5th. So it's right on there. So we could look at that as a little wave 1 expanded flat for 2 here, and it could even be here, you know. If you've got it there too, I think that's a good possibility. And then that would leave wave 2 over here as well. And then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th, 5th. That would... possible. I think the best way to handle it, because it's a little bit iffy, is that... you can see that we've entered group 2 here. It was the resistance, and then it went bop and got there, tested it on support. So, if, you know, just in hindsight again, you can see that that's all resistance here, right? So if I was going to go long, in here, I would have to wait for that first high above the level there, coming across there. I'm just going to clean up my mess. So what I'm thinking is that it's entered group 2 here, so it's likely to get up here somewhere. But when it's up here somewhere and then it comes back here, as I mentioned on the other chart, that this becomes this. We're in minor group 2 in the bigger picture. The minor group 2, as I mentioned before in the bigger chart, it's number 8 up here, and then 72, and then the 4650 down here. So it's quite a big sort of area, really. So and then we come down here further, and then, so this is going to be important to us, this level. but this is subgroup 2 here. So this is going to be important. So let the market just do its thing up here. Normally I find that you don't have to worry about too much. You just allow it to unfold and mature. And once it matures, then you can kind of see things a little bit better. Like you might see a decent wave 4 here come into play. And you go, okay. And then you might clearly see the 5 waves up here. And you may or may not see that. But if you don't see any of that, what I'm saying is that if the market trades up here somewhere, and then it comes back down and finds the this number 4665, the lower end of subgroup 2, so 65, 72 and 80, and finds this as the resistance here, then you can look to short pretty safely at that point. And then also what we're saying here as well is that we'll find some sort of bounce here, and this is the lower end of minor group 2 here, so you also want to be looking to add at that point. When you come down to number 3 here, always expect a bounce off the 3. Most of the time it just goes back to the 4, but can go back to the 5, so you'll need to watch your stops at that point. But after that bounce, then it will, starts to move down. And if you want to add again, under the number 2 here is a nice safe place as well, unless you want to add on the bounces as well. I mean, there's many roads to Rome. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you know what you're doing. That's the thing. And don't extend yourself. And all the little positions that you put in here, you got to try to half the risk. That's the first job. One contract in, and then get that to reduce it to 50% risk with your trading stop loss, but that's a technical decision. Really need to do some videos on that too, I guess. And build in steady as she goes. So that's it, really. That's where we're up to with everything. So we can just recap the so just to recap here a little bit, normally we would, if this was all of wave 1 here, we would see wave 3 be longer, and we may get that, but we may see wave 4 and 5 be smaller. I just got a feeling we're going to be scrunched up in all of this because of Microsoft and Google and Facebook and those sorts of things. So anyway, first of all, we need to see if we're going to be going turning from the box, so you know how to short that now. And if we do go up above here, then it is possible that we're going to go straight up at that point there, but this number here would be as support. The 4800 would be a catalyst to confirm that as support. If we do go above here, then we need to watch the first 5 waves that move up into that space. So that would be was it the 2-hour chart? Yeah, so if we take that as 5 waves, what we would look for over here would be 5 waves over here as well. So when we get to the top of the 5 waves over here, we're going to get some sort of pullback here. So it's that pullback that we could position ourselves to go long at that point. We just need to be a bit careful about a triangle playing out with all of this as well. So yeah, that's that. So if it goes up here, don't think that you're missing anything, because if it will be 5 waves, whatever it is. So from even to wave B here will be 5 waves. In one way or another, it's going to pull back and it will give us a setup in this space, and then we'll head up from that point and we'll start counting up, and we'll put wave 4 under here and so on. So yeah, look, we're in a correction, so we just need to be extra careful, and we need to move with the markets. The market is the boss, and we just need to be a sheep. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.